So you're saying that the recruiting standards or requirements are kind of nobody really knows what they are. So now that you're talking to the recruiter, what are the requirements?
So there's a psychological evaluation. You have to go do a couple. I want to say it was 2 appointments, and it's just a psych going through all of their psych stuff, determining if you would be a good fit or not. And then there's a physical test you have to do, and the standard I do not remember. But it was like run, pull-ups, push-ups, whatever it was, certain times and certain numbers. And that all kind of goes in your file, and it is sent off to the Hill, and that's so Dwyer Hill is our unit, call it the Hill, and they get all these files from all across the different branches of the military and pick the people that are going to come on selection that year.
Okay.
And then they run a few serials of that.
So this sounds very similar to Delta. They're recruiting from all Canadian military units
Yeah.
or branches.
Yeah, like I could have fucking been a musician for 2 years and then tried out any branch.
Okay. So this is very similar to Delta.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think the thought behind it is we're going to teach you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
And like you don't need to be really good with a pistol because we're going to show you the proper way to do it anyway. And if you shoot a lot, you probably have bad habits coming. So there wasn't a big concern of where you came from. The most successful recruits, percentage-wise, are from the infantry, by like a pretty big percentage, I think. But still, you can be a Navy, whatever, cook.
Okay.
And still.
Are there other levels of special operations units within the Canadian Armed Forces, or is
Yeah. So we have
JTF2?
JTF2 is kind of the counterterrorism hostage rescue mandate tier 1. CSOR is like almost like the Delta Ranger relationship a little bit.
Okay.
They're the Special Operations Regiment. And then we have like a helo group and like a CBRN, like chemical weapon, all of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Those dudes that go to like the crazy machines and
Do you guys work with them?
Yeah, we work with them all the time, like overseas and domestic, and like it's.
Do you see a lot of carryover from like the Ranger relationship that you were just talking about with that other unit? Do you see a lot of draw coming from that unit into JTF2?
Yeah. I think even more now. I don't know if it was set up this way, but there's a lot of guys now that go there first and then come to JTF2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do the psych test, you do the physical test. Do they give you like a, hey, you're in immediately, or is it a long wait?
No, it's a funny one actually. So you'll know if you pass the test because you know what the times are, you know what the numbers are. And there's like a physical, like a PSP staff. They're like, okay, that's your push-up number. Good. Here's your run time. Here's your pull-ups. Here's your whatever. So you know if you passed the physical test. I don't recall knowing if I passed the psych or if they're just like, like psychs. Like, these are my notes. They're going in. But you wait for a message from Dwyer Hill to say like, yeah, you're picked up on selection. So I was training with a group of guys to get ready for it. And we were giving her like 2 or 3 workouts a day, and like our chain of command was giving us time to do it, and we got really good support in that sense. But I was already in recce platoon as a sniper, and they were in a different squadron or company. So I was going out for a run, morning PT, and I think it was all 3 of them were like, oh, we got our message. We're picked up to go on selection. I was like, well, where the fuck did you find that out? And I'm like, oh, Sergeant Major just told us. So I'm like, well, I didn't hear fucking anything. What the hell? So I went and found my Sergeant Major. I was like, He's like, what do you want? Do you have anything to tell me? He's like, oh yeah, you're going on selection. I was like, fuck. Like, thank you. And then I went and did my run or whatever. But it was just, I don't even know, it was maybe 10 minutes in between. But I was like, am I going? What's happening here? But yeah, so they send the message back to the different units, and you just get word like, show up at this time. And that's all you know. And there's like, again, you see, like, I was training in battalion with like, some of the fittest people I've ever met in my whole life. And you'd see they'd go on selection, come back like 3 days later. Like, what the fuck happened?
Didn't make it.
And they're like, can't talk about it, but no, I didn't make it. Like, and then the next guy, what the fuck happened? And then so you're going, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
So you see, like, I'm working out with these guys. I know they're machines. And they're just like, a couple days later coming back. I'm like, a couple days? What
Damn.
happened in a couple days? Like, so yeah, going in, it was just such a mystery, and just the rumors that fly around.
So is the hill at the same? Is it at the same base that you're on, or did you have to travel? You know, is it at another location? In
Yeah,
Canada,
so
or-
I was in Edmonton, which is in Alberta. We traveled to Dwyer Hill, which is near Ottawa, and that's where all the selection was run, all around that area.
Okay. So you get there, you show up. Around how many people are trying out?
There's a couple serials, but the serial I was on, I think, was 30, just over 30 people, maybe.
30 people.
Yeah.
How many of these are they running a year?
It varies every year depending on recruiting numbers and all this stuff. I think the year I did it, so my selection was in 2008. I want to say there was 4 serials or something like that.
Okay.
Three or 4 serials.
A year?
Yeah, the year I was on it. So I know it varies. I think they try to get as many
Yeah.
good candidates as possible, but again, recruiting numbers go like this. So
I'll bet they're like this right now.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Same here. But so you get in, about 30 guys. What do they have? How are you received? Are they welcoming? Are they standoffish?
No, it's fine.
Are they yelling at you?
It's psychological, like right off the bat. So I flew into Ottawa the night before. They tell you where to stay in the hotel. They tell you what time to meet a bus. You just get on a bus. Like, here's your number. You'll now be referred to as this number. Go sit down. And it's not really a dick. They're just like,
Very
"Come on,
matter
number
of
10,
fact.
number 9, get on the bus. And you just like, fuck me. Like, what's going to happen? And it's kind of like that throughout. It's a 7-day selection. And you just don't know what's going to happen. There's guys that have done it a couple times, so they have a different clue. Or like there's some people that knew because friends or whatever told them. But like coming from out west, we didn't have a clue. None of us knew anything that was going to happen.
Damn.
So, yeah, it was...
You had no ties inside the unit or anything.
No, I'd
Totally in the blind.
in the blind. Yeah, just like hoping we prepared well enough.
So what was it like? What were they looking for? What was the first test?
It's like fitness is a big part, but it almost doesn't matter. I realized this after, like the guys that were super fit that came back, like if you can do 200 push-ups, you're gonna be asked to do 202. Like the fitness is important because it's fucking hard, but it's more about mental resilience, I think, than actual physical fitness. Like you pass the fitness standard to get there. Now, no matter how fit you are, you're gonna be pushed. And that definitely happened. And then it's just like an all day 24/7 psychological fucking mind fuck.
Okay.
Just like there's all kinds of different tasks to like see how you think, to see how you work in a team, see how you work under pressure, obviously, to test the things you're scared of.
How did they do that? How did they test what you're scared of?
Man, they were just, without maybe getting into exact specifics, it would be like they will test to see if you're claustrophobic, test to see if you're scared of water or drowning. Test to see if you're afraid of heights. Test to see your reaction in these situations. And
When they find it, when they find your fear, are you going to hang out in that fear for a little while?
oh yeah, you'll get if you are showing something you're afraid of, it is exploited for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was yours?
The ones they tested, I didn't really have any of them at that point. I mean, I have a healthy respect for heights, but I mean, like I love the mountains and I'm a climber and stuff. But some of the most scared I've been have been on like trad climbs because I have a respect for heights. I wouldn't say I'm scared of it, but that would probably be the one where I was like the test that they do. I was like, fucking goddamn! Like, I was like, I just have to do it. I just don't want to give away precisely what it was. But that was the one where I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, fuck it. I'm here. Like, but that would have been the one. I'm not claustrophobic. We trained a lot in the water getting ready for it. So I was pretty comfortable in the water. Yeah.
So if you don't, I totally understand not wanting to give anything up, and I don't want you to do that. I'm not prying. So if you don't want to answer, just, you can tell me. It's fine. Everybody's going to understand, but I'm trying to get, the gist of what the selection's like. So it sounded like it was kind of a gentleman's course where it was just very matter of fact, unemotional.
No.
So after that, then they start yelling and they're.
Oh yeah, you go back and forth. There's a bunch of different personalities doing different things for different reasons. So like psychological. Some guys don't care about like, welcome, you're number 10, leave. Some people fucking right in your face to see if you're afraid of someone yelling at you, to see if like how you handle it. And it was like it was a very good, it was a roller coaster. Like, and then you'd have time like on your own where you'd have a task, and then it was with a team, and like you didn't know if when they tell you to go to sleep, if you're actually going to sleep or something's going to happen, or like it was just, it's 7 days, and it's like there's not very much downtime, and there's just, they try to really assess how you're gonna be if shit is hard and you're tired and you have a team relying on you, or you have to do something on your own. Like,
is it 24 hours a day? Is it just one task to the next task?
Oh yeah, it's 24 hours a day. Even like your task of, okay, go to sleep. You're like, okay, like, yeah, it's just 24 hours a day. And mine was run in like late fall. I think it was November in Canada, so it was like cold outside, and it was a mix of like rain and snow and fucking crazy. And I remember part of that actually helped me because I like hurt my knee on it. So one of my strengths going in was running. I was a pretty good runner, and there's a lot of running that has to happen. But I hurt my knee, and I was like, now the first few days or whatever at the front of the runs and stuff, feeling pretty good about it, to like limping at the back of everything, and like a staff and a fucking ambulance right behind me, like, just fucking quit, number 10. Just like running in the dark. Just quit. Why are you doing this? Look at everyone's up there. Do you think they want to work with somebody that's this fucking slow? I'm like, oh my God.
Do you think they want to work with me?
Yeah. I'm like, man, this was my strength and I'm just trying to run. But we ended up doing some stuff, like going through this like crazy ice cold river, and there's a bunch of cold kind of exposure stuff. It ended up helping my knee a lot. So it was like that night, and then the next day I was like, oh, it's feeling a little bit better. And it was like, I thought I was on my way out, and then I had this little comeback. But that part was great. That's where I was happy that we were doing it in the cold in Canada.
How many guys made it through?
Out of all the serials, I want to say we had, so it goes 7 days selection, and then it goes to the assaulter course. If you pass selection and are deemed, what they're looking for, you go on an assaulter course. That's like 10 months. So from all the serials, I think we started the assaulter course at around 30, something like that.
Let me rewind a little bit. So they had. I'm just trying to understand everything. So you're saying they have 4. The year you tried out, they had maybe approximately 4 selections.
Yeah.
Throughout the year.
Yeah.
Do they compress all these selections?
Yeah,
into-
most of them are like back to back. It
Okay.
was like all, I think, in the fall. It was like serial 1, 2, 3, 4.
So there is one time of year where you have a shot to try out for JTF2, and
Yeah.
if you're not in that 1 month
You
window,
gotta wait. Yeah.
then you gotta wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 classes of 30. That's about what 75% cut rate.
Yeah, and you would see it like fucking hour 1 when it started. People were like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." Like, we laughed about it later. We're like, because to get there is such a pain in the ass process to begin with. Like, you got to do 2 years in the military, and I mean, not everybody joins just to do that, but like, and then the psych test and the fucking physical test and the training and like flying across the country to go, and then like the first fucking hour, people are like, "Nope,
I'm done.
Get me out of here." It's like, okay, but yeah, it's 75% roughly are chopped there, and then. Man, I wish I remembered the numbers exactly. I've had a lot of concussions between then and now.
It's all good.
But yeah, I think our course started at around 30.
Okay.
When it was time to start the assaulter course.
So you get through selection. Is there any kind of is there? Does the attitude change once you make it through selection and you're getting ready to go to assaulters course, or are you still?
Yeah, no, the attitude changes drastically. It becomes more now like a gentleman's course.
Okay.
Now they're clear that like this is still select, like this is now part 2 of selection. It's going to be a 10-month course where you're learning fucking everything, but there was a big attitude change. It was more like a lot of people just they wanted to show you how to become a good assaulter, and that was pretty constant throughout. There was some like, I'm an instructor, you're a candidate, like making that known. But for the most part, it was good, like gentleman's course after that.
When you're going through the course, do you have access to the operators that are over at the unit already?
Not really. Some guys had friends that were there and stuff, and you get to have a chat with them or whatever. But we had just like the cadre of staff that were running each package. That would be our access to the current assaulters in the unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of skills how's it broken down?
So selection's done in the fall, and then SOAC starts. That's our Special Operations Assaulter course. Starts in when I did it, it started in January. So we go and we actually we came down south and did like a shooting package where they're just like, we're gonna teach you how to shoot these guns now. It was done at like Blackwater. It was Blackwater at the time. Whatever.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
You guys are coming down here.
Yeah, because it's cold as fuck in January.
Yeah.
Be like shooting pistol and loading mags. And it was just, I can't remember. I want to say it was like a month or a month and a half of just shooting, like straight from the basics. Like, this is the pistol. This is how you hold it. This is how you use it. And just every day, shoot.
Was it internal instructors?
Yeah.
JTF2 guys teaching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had like a training cadre that was, and they would get guys, so training, and they would bring guys from like some of the squadrons in to also teach. So yeah, it was all like we were learning to be assaulters from assaulters.
Rifle and pistol.
Yeah, rifle and pistol.
What happens after that?
So once you're done there, and then we lost a few guys in that stuff, just like people couldn't pick it up, or safeties are always a big one, because it's all looking forward to being in the CQB. So like, if you can't pick up on weapons safety after some chances, then it's like, because
Yeah, you're not.
you're getting into some tight situations later. But after that, we went to, shooting was done, and then it was CQB, basic CQB.
So for the audience that's not military, CQB's close quarters battle.
Yeah.
That's entering houses, entering buildings with a team and flowing through with weapons.
That's right. Yeah.
A lot of hostage rescue,
Yeah.
capture, kill type stuff.
That's right.
How was that for you, having never done that?
Man, I found it to be a lot of fun, but at this part in the course, it was not so friendly because we have a training facility that's like a whole collection of different rooms. But there's no ceiling, and there's a catwalk where the instructors are watching what you're doing, and then just like fucking tearing you apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a high stress part of the course for sure. You're trying to take all the things you learn in the shooting package, and now put it into like a very dynamic situation where once you're going and flowing, like as you're running and you're making shots, and like your dude's right there and you're shooting right there, and what's beyond the target. There's just so many things to process that it was high stress. I enjoyed it, but I almost didn't make it through either. There was it came down to like a final day in a final room. I loved being aggressive as fuck in the CQB, and sometimes it got me a little more attention. But yeah, I was down to if I got another safety, I think it was going to be that's it for me. But I still to this day, after having done the course, gone through, did all the CQB and squadrons and all the other things, I still disagree completely with the safety that put me kind of on the bubble. I think it was a bad call, but
Do you think maybe they put that on you just to add to the pressure, knowing that you only have one left?
I don't think so. Because if they did, I think they would have done it to more people. There was a couple of us for sure that were we just got to be careful on this run. Just be careful. I don't think it was done specifically. It was just I did it to myself.
Roger that. Yeah. How long was that portion?
Oh man, I want to say it was just a couple months maybe. So shooting was a month. Yeah, maybe 2 months. And again, these are all this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
These are all ish.
So we're roughly 3 to 4 months into selection. Yeah. What do we have left?
So after you've shown that you can be safe and you're picking up on that stuff, it was still, we were mixing in stuff too at this time that was fighting, medical training. So it'd be CQB in the morning, let's say, maybe a period of TCCC medical training, and fight class, CQB in the evening, and then another fight class in the evening.
What kind of fight class are you guys doing?
A mixed martial arts. So this kind of, you're getting the basics of striking, boxing, kicking, and then grappling, some BJJ stuff, and then growing to incorporate weapons and team, and more in a CQB, in a room environment, you're coming in someone's hospital, but not necessarily armed, not compliant. How do you take care of that guy? You know what I mean? So incorporating, now you have a long gun and you have your gear and that kind of stuff. So they built on first on the basics of just how to throw a punch, how to kick, all of these different things, some grappling, and then added in, the guns you're going to have, or using a knife that you might have if you're in a hairy situation.
At what point do they start, how do I say that? At what point do they start cross-training? So at what point do they expect you to start busting out jiu-jitsu in a kill house or striking in a kill house?
That was the next portion. So it was basic CQB and learning the fundamentals of fighting. And then an advanced CQB was bigger targets, off camp, things we've never seen, getting all and it was more hostage rescue centric at this point. Different types of infills, fast roping, rappelling, or high speed vehicle approach, or sneaky. And then in those scenarios, you would have guys that were in the building, and this we'd switch from live fire to simunition. But there would be every fucking scenario you can think of. They would put into these buildings and houses. And we would go, you know, everything from like explosive entry to just like mechanical breaching, and just the whole thing came together in that. And that's where you're presented with situations where you're like, I assess that like I would probably be, well, at the time, because I'm on course, I'd probably be in trouble if I shoot this person, so I'm going to fight him. And that's where it all kind of came together.
Okay. So basically what they're doing is, it sounds like, if correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like CQB is the mother load here.
Yeah.
And then they're adding in fighting, medical, air operations. You guys doing any diving,
No, not on our basic assault course.
navigation?
Yeah, definitely.
Mount.
That's the nav, like navigation and all that stuff. Is we have a green phase that's after advanced CQB. So after they kind of tackle like the hostage rescue kind of domestic stuff, like, you know, you're wearing black and you're doing domestic Canadian hostage rescue, or kind of the scenarios. And then it goes to
no
more.
shit. So you guys do domestic stuff?
So that's so mandate. Yeah, it's sort of like we're a mix, because we have a domestic hostage rescue mandate. Well, kind of globally, but like we will be what the government reaches for if something happens that like our police can't handle. So almost like your your FBI, I think, have
HRT team.
Your HRT, yeah, have like that domestic hostage rescue mandate here. So we have that
No shit.
as well. Yeah.
I can't wait to dive into how this unit is broken down. I had no idea you guys were both domestic and foreign.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes, so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.